you?
Caitlin, I just want to personally congratulate you on being named captain for the 20.
The better part of 2 years, maybe even 3 years, the mainstream media has been trying to convince us that Angel Reese is a huge star.
The WNBA's annual Midsummer Showcase, usually a celebration of the league's brightest stars, has once again found itself at the center of heated debate and controversy. This year, all eyes were supposed to be on the much-anticipated next chapter of the Caitlin-Clark and Angel Reese Rivalry, storyline that has dominated headlines and captivated fans since both players entered the league. But instead of a thrilling on-court showdown, the conversation has shifted in an unexpected direction. Angel Reese, who came into the league surrounded by massive hype and a carefully crafted image of being the face of the next generation, now finds herself watching from the sidelines, excluded from the 2025 All-Star Game. Meanwhile, Caitlin-Clark, whose game has spoken louder than any marketing campaign, prepares to take center stage as the All-Star captain. What was supposed to be a rivalry, built on competitive fire and mutual greatness, has now become something else entirely a public lesson in the difference between being famous and being truly elite. It's a collision of perception versus performance, style versus substance, attention versus consistency. Reese's absence is more than just a snub. It's a brutal reflection of the league's shifting priorities and a reminder that sustained excellence, not just social media buzz or televised moments, is what cements a player's place among the best. The All-Star Game will move on without her, but the message lingers. In the WNBA, hype might sell tickets, but greatness is what earns you the stage.
Angel Reese, I'm sorry, ma'am. What makes you think that you deserve to be in the top 10 in the whole WNBA in voting? Don't you know you got to compete with Plum, Collier, Breanna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, who else? Caitlin-Clark, who was ranked 4th in the WNBA. She's ranked 4th. You are ranked 25th.
Angel Reese and her trademark me-bounds have once again pushed her into the spotlight. But this time, the narrative has taken a sharp, uncomfortable turn. After riding a wave of attention and securing an all-star selection in her rookie season, Reese entered the 2025 campaign, brimming with confidence. Seemingly convinced she had solidified her place as Caitlin-Clark's equal, not just as a competitor on the court, but as a cultural force in the league. It was a belief she wore openly, a posture she leaned into, positioning herself as one half of the WNBA's next great rivalry. But the fans had other ideas, and the All-Star voting has made that brutally clear. While Caitlin-Clark surged to the top of the voting charts, locking in her captaincy with an overwhelming 1,293,526 fan votes, Reese's name was noticeably absent from the upper ranks. In fact, she didn't just miss out on the captain's honor, she didn't even crack the top 10. With just 173,363 votes, Reese landed 13th in the initial returns, far below expectations and miles away from Clark's towering support. 4. A player who had previously been the center of so much media attention, who had once captured the spotlight with a mix of swagger, social media presence, and undeniable charisma. The numbers were a sobering reality check. The message from the fans was loud and unmistakable. Hype might get you noticed, but it won't keep you there. Angel Reese's initial surge into the WNBA conversation was powered by attention and anticipation, but maintaining a place among the elite requires more than just bold declarations and viral moments. It demands sustained excellence, growth, and the ability to consistently deliver at the highest level. Caitlin-Clark has done just that, steadily building a resume that now speaks louder than the headlines. The gap between the two players, once painted as razor-thin by commentators and social media debates, has now been exposed as a chasm in the eyes of the public. What was once framed as a rivalry has, at least for now, become something else entirely, a one-sided showcase of dominance. Reese's drop in fan support signals that being famous is not the same as being great. And while the league will always have room for personalities and storylines, the stage ultimately belongs to those who back it up with performance. For Angel, Reese, the road ahead is far from over. But the All-Star voting serves as a pointed reminder. In the WNBA, reputation can start the conversation, but results decide who gets to stay in it. Ask ChatGPT.
So lads, Ejection led the WNBA in All-Star voting. Obviously led the WNBA in All-Star voting. Like, I don't think anyone is shocked by that. If somebody is surprised by Ejection leading the WNBA in All-Star voting, you've been living under a rock. It's obvious. She was always going to lead.
The contrast between the two couldn't be more striking. Ejection, despite battling injuries and missing several games, continues to put up elite numbers, averaging 18 2-points, 8-9 assists, and 5 rebounds per game. She's not just performing, she's setting records, rewriting the stat sheets, and packing arenas in every city she visits. Her impact is undeniable, both statistically and culturally. Meanwhile, Angel Reese has seen a noticeable regression across nearly every major statistical category since her rookie season. What was once a promising start has begun to lose its shine. Reese's scoring has dipped from 13 6 points per game to just 11.7, and even her trademark rebounding skill that helped define her game has slightly declined from 13.1 boards per game to 12.3. But perhaps the most alarming part of her sophomore slump is her ball control. Her turnovers have nearly doubled, spiking from 2.2 per game to a costly 3.9. Adding to the concern, her efficiency has cratered, with her field goal percentage plummeting to a troubling 39.1%, while Clark's trajectory continues to ascend. Overcoming obstacles and elevating everyone around her, Reese's sophomore campaign is beginning to raise serious questions. The numbers paint a clear picture. One player is rising into superstardom, the other is struggling to hold her ground.
Bit of an up and down season for her, relatively speaking, because she's been in and out of the lineup. Collier did miss a few games with a back issue as well. And of course, Clark had the shooting slump before she went out with the latest injury. Don't know how much that was related or is related, but Clark's impact on the floor is apparent when you see her there and when you see her off, and her numbers are still awesome. Not to mention, she's by far the most popular player in the league, and this is decided by fan voting.
The Mabounce controversy has finally reached its inevitable breaking point, and the verdict from fans is clear. They're no longer buying what Angel Reese is selling. What was once a quirky, even defiant, part of her on-court identity has now morphed into a running joke. The act of padding her own stats, racking up rebounds by grabbing the ball off her own missed shots has shifted from a point of pride to a punchline, a symbol of empty hustle rather than elite performance. At first, Reese appeared to embrace the narrative. The term Maybounds, originally coined by fans and critics as a playful jab, quickly gained traction across social media. Reese, never one to shy away from the spotlight, didn't just acknowledge the label, she leaned into it. Whoever came up with the Mabounds thing, y'all ate that up, she quipped, almost wearing it like a badge of honor. But the deeper meaning behind the phenomenon has proved far less flattering. Instead of challenging the criticism with improved play, Reese went a step further, filing to trademark Maybounds, positioning it as a potential branding opportunity for future merchandise. In many ways, that decision might be the most telling and most damning indictment of all. Rather than silencing the critics with better shot selection, refined technique, or higher efficiency, Reese chose to commodify what has widely been viewed as a glaring weakness in her game. It's an astonishing pivot, transforming a flaw that exposes a lack of polish into a business venture, betting that attention, even negative attention, can be monetized. But the fans, at least now, seem to have moved on. The same public that once helped propel Reese's stardom with viral moments and headline grabbing, debates now appears less interested in the spectacle. They've grown tired of the gimmicks, the self-promotion, and the style of her substance branding that can no longer cover for stagnant growth on the court. The All-Star voting made that painfully clear. Reese's slide in popularity isn't about disliking her personalities, about realizing the gap between her marketing machine and her actual performance. There was a time when Reese's energy, bravado, and larger-than-life presence felt refreshing and necessary jolt to the league's culture. But there's a limit to how long charisma can mask